Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode in the series Conversations with Shelley. It is December 24th. It's Christmas Eve, and by now, everybody should be winding down to, I hope, get into the festivity of the season. No, this is not really my time of year, to be honest and frank. I am usually not the type of person who gets too festive during the end of the year, especially if when I look at the entire year and I may have not achieved quite all the things that I had on my list to achieve and accomplish. So for me, if I reach the midway marker through the month of December year ending and I evaluate what have been my successes vis-a-vis my non-successes, I won't say failures, and they are not where I would have hoped or wished or loved or liked them to be, then that usually sets me into the mood or the mode of how I end the year officially. So you can just imagine that at this point in time, I do have a lot of things to be grateful for, by the way. I do have life, I do have love, I do have family and friends. I do have a means to earn. I do have some amount of, um, reasonably good health. I mean, we have to just say that because we don't know all the things that are taking place within our bodies, but certainly, for now I seem to be okay. For now, I seem to be okay. Putting that out in the universe, I am okay. So let me just dial back and do some housekeeping and some introductions. So, for those of you who are new here joining me for the first time, stumbling up on this craziness that is Conversations with Shelley, thank you for joining me. Welcome. And for those of you who been here, part of the madness and the chaotic confusion, welcome back. Thank you always for sticking and staying. So today, of course, is my random ramble. And my random rambles are usually not things that I really put great thought in. They're just things that I just speak on. I just speak on it. And I allow the plane to land wherever it lands. Now, the reason I want to make that disclaimer is because I don't want anybody who is tuning in or hearing me do my random rambles and think she is really serious and this is a point of view that she really holds. I may not necessarily hold um, these points of view with any strong derelictions in any way, but they are things that I may have just thought about in the whim and fancy of the moment and just want to say it. I may dial back and take them back when I really sit into the silence of what I've said. So just that as a disclaimer. So my random ramble topic for this week, topic number one, emotional incest. Now I mentioned emotional incest recently, and somebody um DM me in my email and said if I could elaborate and do a actual topic on it. And I thought I could, but let me just, insert it quickly here. So, emotional incest is that um it is that thing that children experience, siblings experience when they have a parent or parents that rely on them in such a way that it almost seems as if they and their parents is relying on them for some kind of emotional support, and it is almost to the point where it becomes draining, and it takes away from the children's ability to have their own lives. So without putting a proper definition to it, it is it's really about those moments in an adult grown child's life when their elderly parent or just their parent in general may feel like this child belongs to them and nobody else. So whether there is a spouse involved, you know, either the mother or the father or both tend to insert themselves so much into the life of of this their child, so that it impacts the relationship that that child has with other persons within their own circle. And you have instances where some of these parents become so overbearing that the child themselves start to feel drained by the type of things that they have to do for that mother or father, or as I said, both. So is this something that is of concern if it turns up in your relationship? Certainly it is of concern, because it will eat and at times kill your relationship, as the case may be. Because let me give you an example. I think sometimes examples are best, especially when I do these random rambles and I don't have the research to necessarily support the point or the argument being made. So let's say, for example, that you have a mother or a father, and you are considered to be, maybe say, the responsible child amongst all the children that they have. And you will find that either the mother or the father, or as I said, both, they will get to a point in their lives where every single thing that is happening in their lives, they relate to this particular responsible child. And they see no barrier, no boundary to keep some things from being said or told to that child, so that the child doesn't feel who is not really a child, because the child is now a grown adult, but in their eyes it's their child. And they will dump all the things that are emotionally draining for them on the child, with the intention that the child is going to resolve that thing for them. So for example, you have an elderly mother or an elderly father, and they want something. Yeah, there is things there for them to eat. And guys, I'm keeping it very simple, because as I said, without the benefit of real um you know knowledge or things to support my thought process, I would just want to keep it very simple. So let us say that you have your elderly mom or dad, and you've stuck their fridge out to the gods. You've given them everything that they need to have to eat. They are not without food. They are not without anything that is considered to be a necessity. You live half an hour to an hour away from them, right? They are not sick. They are not in need of any medical attention or medical care. But either the mother or the father decides to pick up the phone and calls that child and say, or that grown adult son or daughter, and decides to say, you can carry some food for me? Me hungry. No. That is what an example of emotional incest is. Because as I mentioned, this particular ask is not an ask out of a need. It is an ask because you are in a position where you know emotionally that this particular adult child will not tell you no, and will not make you feel that your ask or your request will not be granted. So emotional incest is something that is not looked upon by relationship experts as something that can be a passing fad. If it turns up into your relationship, specifically if you have a spouse who then suffers as a result or as a consequence of the demands being placed by a parent, then this is something that can definitely kill a relationship, or at the very least sabotage it to the point where it suffers and suffers immensely. And that's my random ramble number one. I will absolutely do something on it, full on it, so that we can have a better understanding of what it is and how to identify it and how to um see it through your relationship. But one of the things about my random rambles is that I like to keep it light. I like to make it fun and very playful. So this one was a little bit weird for me because there was nothing playful about it. Um, because I have noted it in quite a lot of instances, that are very near and dear to me, and it has been something that I wanted to raise for quite some time within this space. So, um, another random rumble. A friend of mine called me the other day and she said, "Boy, Shelly, I'm with this guy. He has he has some amount of wealth, but he lives in New York, and of course, she lives in another state. I mean, couple hours well, right? And she says to me, we're in a long distance relationship, and God know it now work out because him live too far. And she has been going through the the uncertainties that surrounds relationships in general, but the uncertainties that are amplified as a result of you living far apart. And she asked me what was my thoughts on long distance relationships. So let me tell you something. The only way long distance relationship work is if you don't care for the person. You don't care if they want the boat, if they want the near you, far you, it don't matter. Long distance relationships don't make sense, in my opinion, my humble opinion. I don't see how a relationship is supposed to survive if it is being done over a great distance. Yeah? And no matter what people tell you, no matter what people say, and no matter what people pretend as if it is workable, let me tell you something. Long distance relationships, they never work. They never work. Relationships in and of themselves are so hard to navigate, to go through, and to add distance to it can only make it that much harder and that much more difficult. So when anybody said to me, said them in a long distance relationship and it's working, my one eye go up like, I mean, so really? I saw me look at it like me, I say, girl, guy, you no lie. This thing, and if it is working just because it is new. But you cannot be in a long distance relationship for a year and it working perfectly fine. Because me, I tell you, people live together no much further than a door apart. And it can be so chaotic and so confusing and so discombobulacious. Make you understand how a long distance relationship is supposed to work with so many things that can make it go wrong. So anybody who is in a long distance relationship, stop fooling yourself. Stop fooling yourself. It won't work. It don't work. And only God can come and make that mess work. It not work. Trust me. Leave a comment below if you think I lie me I tell. And if you can change my point of view, so be it. Feel free to. I don't think it work. In-laws. Random ramble topic number 3. In-laws. Now let me tell you something. I had to put this on there because again, my topics are being done because every week I literally go scoping for things to bring to you. Like I'll have my circle of friends and I will say to them, what should I talk about this week? And of course, a very good friend of mine, Sir Laws, you tell me not to call your name, but you can't stop me. Sir Laws, I asked him to give me a topic or give me some topics that I could random ramble about. And he says, talk about um, in-laws, how they help, how they hurt, relationships. He also gave me the long distance one as well, and a couple of others, right? But let me just talk about the in-laws one and how in-laws, whether or not they can hurt or help your relationship. Now remember, guys, my random rambles, I may have to take them back. But in the moment that I'm having the random ramble, it is for me to accept my position as I have given it. For all those relationships that have been able to survive with the involvement of active in-laws, I applaud you. I lift my hats off to you. I absolutely congratulate you on navigating your relationship with an active community of in laws. You see, for me and my household, the less involved my in laws are, is the better it is for me. Now, I'm saying this jokingly, but this ain't no joke. I can love my in laws from a distance, especially if they are not active. And a disclaimer for me are active in laws. You see, when your in laws, them too active in your business, you and your spouse business, you have a problem with that. So, mother in law, father in law, sister in law, brother in law, nephew in law, niece in law, you don't need, I mean, I look straight pan uno now, you don't need for all a backseat to people relationship. Some of uno too enough and present, and uno cause a whole heap of people relationship to fall apart because uno too little bit and present. No, I have had friends in the past who says, as a matter of fact, I had a girlfriend who, when we were doing our masters together at the Pelican, hi Jan Jan, hi. Um, she told me that, well, Jan Jan is somebody else, right? But the person I'm talking about, the Saint Lucian, her name was Kim. And I recall when we were going to the Pelican, um, she asked me if the person I was dating at the time, if their parents are alive. And I told her no. One, they didn't, one of the father was unknown and the mother had passed away. And she says to me, how is that going? And I said to her, beautiful. No, it was a running joke back then because, of course, we were young. Yeah, I was maybe like in my 20s or something. And it was a running joke between me and her because she was having significant issues with her mother in law because her mother in law was in the ears of her son morning, noon, and night about her. And the poor fellow was always in between trying to resolve the issues that his mother had versus the issues that um, she had. And I said to her, listen, those things are on my list of check. I don't do the in-laws very well, and I will not. I may have to take it back at some point in time, but I can tell you, I I would much rather have in-laws stay in because you just have some. Oh God, I don't want this become something that it shouldn't, But the reality of it is some of the in-laws, y'all need to take a backseat to your sons and daughters' lives. Take a backseat and allow them to live their lives so that you know people can actually enjoy you as in-laws. And that's one of the beautiful things about my family. And this has been something that people have said to me all the time. You see, my parents and my little people's them not get involved. Bye. Nice to see you. Glad you are around. Take care of her and them gone. Then on a time for ningy, and nobody ears but nobody. And if a lot of us in our relationships could know where to put our mothers and fathers and tell them where to stop, it would have saved a whole heap away. So came out the one day I feel, oh Jesus. Oh God. No, so many me and this YouTube thing not gonna work out. Guys, I have been on another path of my random ramble of late. And another one that I wanted to talk about is new money. Now, I have been hanging around a couple, I won't call them friends, yeah? Because, to be in my friend circle requires quite a lot. But I've been hanging around a couple of new peoples, hoping to see if I could ingratiate them into my friend circle. And two of them screamed never. And two of them screamed never because of what I call new money. Now, bear in mind, we're not talking about no whole heap of money, people, because say, these days, money don't really come whole heap of. I'm just talking about people who have suddenly found themselves in a different income bracket. And they have found themselves in this income bracket and have completely been blindsided by the few little additional zero or the zero we add on the paycheck. And me, I will tell you now, I mean, no, myself, because when I know say my eye set one side pan on the front and I start to behave too new and too brand new. Because she not do that something there. She not do that something there. So I know herself, yeah? You see when the 2 0 add on pan and look at salary, behave on yourself. Behave on yourself and live life simple. Live life simple and remember where I come from. Nobody live life too fast in the fast lane because same way it come fast, the same way it will lose fast too. When you get new money, maintain the life you had as best as you can for as long as you can and save and bank for a rainy day. Don't let your money show up before you. Don't make your money or the change in your income show up before you. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you get the new work, or you get the new salary, and all of a sudden, you can't wear nothing else but name brand. And if you see a friend them come with one Louis Vuitton and a Louis V look lean, you have a problem and you start going like you didn't know you will Vuitton from it come out of the box. All of a sudden, you know every brand and you know what is real from what was bought from China Street. Me couldn't wicked so. Me couldn't wicked so. All of a sudden, you can tell the sheen blows them from H&M. One of stop it. One of stop it. New money behavior, it's not cute. Take some time to sit down into it. And it's nothing, guys. It's just money. It's material wealth. It comes and it goes. And today, you may have it, and tomorrow, you may not. So when that additional zero is added onto your pay, take life in the slow lane. Some of us were not born to be able to deal with wealth in a quiet way. Some of us just think once money hits, we have to be loud. You don't have to be loud with your wealth. You don't have to be loud with your wealth. Okay? Random ramble. I don't know what number me there. I don't know what number that was. But yeah. Now my next random guys, Brian, become tell this sometimes. Most of these things, guys, I probably have to take them back when I put real thought into it. But let me just do my thing. Yeah? Random ramble. Toxic work environment. Jesus. Father God, good and grace. Why is it that in our workplaces we cannot exist without the poison and the toxic energy that some people bring? Why some people just can't come to work and be flourishing and happy? Is it that your miserable lives love company while you make other persons miserable at work? No, guys, this is something very, very real. Now, while I understand that we may not all be bubbling and just bouncing off the walls every day of the week, you don't have to make the lives of others miserable by your presence, your purpose, or any of those other things. Hold on, guys. Hello, my spot. Okay, all right, coming. Guys, that's what Random Ramble do. No filter. Me just do my thing. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta go. But this was Random Ramble something. Stop come to the people that work with a toxic energy. Leave it at your yards. People want to flourish in their work environment. People want to be happy within their work environment. Leave on a bad behavior on the yard now. Someone who can't stay on the yard and look a miserable self. Any day you come at people working miserable. Lock on yourself in on the office now and stay there. Don't come out. Because you're making the lives of other people very miserable. And don't you can't make mine miserable because you know you're just eternally grateful for air a blow through my body. But I've heard the cries of people who, just by y'all's presence, people get sick. How somebody if it just turn up at work and because I'm so little bit and bitter and make other good people sick and don't want to come at the people them work. Wanna stop it, man. Sure. Anyway, guys, this is another random moment. See you on the other side of serious talk. Take care. Have a good holiday, all, and I'll see you later.